Steve Waugh won the toss yet again and had no intention of his team taking their foot off the pedal this time. But at 36 for 3, Ambrose and Walsh were in the ascendancy.
Very taking a shot from Mark.
Waugh brings out his 50.
After reaching his 50, Langer was deceived by the first ball from Carl Hooper, now restored to the side. But this brought Ricky Ponting to the crease, playing only because of an injury to Greg Blewett. He wasn't about to waste his chance, and together, Waugh and Ponting built a big partnership.
Found the gap between extra cover and mid-off.
Lovely shot from Ponting, clipped it away in front of mid-wicket. That'll go all the way to the boundary, so another 4 for Australia.
The score passed 300 before the close, and with Waugh the more dominant, the partnership took the match right away from the West Indies.
Stephen Waugh has launched this, and that has gone right up on top of the stand. A big 6 to finish the over.
But just after Ponting had celebrated an excellent 100, a collapse. Ponting top-edged a sweep, and Healy, having waited a day to bat, was LBW first ball. Waugh's concentration was momentarily broken, and he agonisingly fell LBW 1 run short of 200 after an 8.5-hour vigil. Still, a brief cameo from McGill helped Australia to a total of 490, surely an impregnable position, and they could regard Jamaica as just a flash in the pan. When Ponting continued his good match with a run-out in the first over and 3 late wickets, including Lara, fell on the second evening, Australia was set to resume normal service.
Another short one. It'll be a big appeal for the Australians. Brian Lara walks. It's caught the glove, and that's a big breakthrough for the Australians.
The loss of Hooper and Adams with the score on 98 left the home innings in tatters, almost 400 behind and 6 wickets down. However, Sherwin Campbell remained steadfast, and with Ridley Jacobs began a gritty fight back.
That's his 50. Liverpool shot, and a determined 50 by Sherwin Campbell.
With Steve Waugh resting his seamers in anticipation of the follow-on, the 7th wicket pairing slowly began to milk the leg spinners.
He's got that through as well, and it's a long chase to that ball, really won't get there. Correct, not away for 4 more. The crowd's really enjoying this now. Oh, that's a gem.
Suddenly, the partnership began to look menacing, and it wasn't until over 150 had been added that Jacobs edged a slip for 68, the surprise bowler, Ricky Ponting. Campbell was eventually 8th out, having completed an excellent century, and there was even a tail-end rally from Walsh and Ambrose.
Good shot, and that'll beat me on.
Warne eventually took his 2nd wicket of the series at a cost of 199, and the innings closed on 329, a deficit of 161. But Australia were still big favourites, and with over 2 days to play, they had time to bat West Indies out of the match before retaking the field. But Courtney and Kirtley don't know when they're beat, and they had other ideas. Elliott made his 3rd duck of the series, but it was the run-out of Slater which turned the innings.
He's in trouble.
For once, the middle order lacked discipline, and it took a stand of 53 between Waugh and Ponting to take the lead past 300. 146 all out was a big letdown, but 308 nevertheless represented an awesome 4th innings target, and it was surely too much to expect another miracle. Campbell and the inexperienced Griffith made a good start with an opening stand of 72, easily the best by either side in the series, but then a familiar tumble of wickets left the West Indies under the cosh at 105 for 5.
That's it. The breakthrough to Jason Gillespie. Hooper can't believe the decision.
But Lara was still there and in imperious form, and Jimmy Adams again stuck around to help him put together a stand of substance. Having taken the score to 161 for 5 at lunch, the last day crowd were treated to a vintage afternoon from the young maestro. Lara's 2nd 50 came up in just 51 balls. What dread thoughts must have been going through the Australian minds.
It's spun back in a long way. It'll go all the way to the boundary. Magnificent cut shot. That is pure perfection. And he's put it away for 4. Doesn't
slot.
No need to run for that. That's his 100th. Brian Lara hits it over the top. And the West Indies captain, the prodigal son turned Messiah, gets his second 100 in successive tests.
Then, with tea approaching, Glenn McGrath ripped out Adams with a beauty, 238 for 6.
Ends that partnership with a beauty.
Jacobs and Perry followed in quick succession, and it was McGrath, already past 30 overs for the innings, who looked to have sealed the match for Australia. 248 for 8, and still 60 were required.
Number 6. McGrath has got another breakthrough.
But Curtly Ambrose managed to hold out for a vital 12 runs, and more importantly, for 39 balls, as Lara marched his side ever closer to the target in a nail-biting stand of 54. Unbelievably, McGrath was still going, but he was now well past the 40-over mark, and Australian heads were dropping. Then, with the winning post in sight, a pivotal moment. Ian Healy failed to cling on to a difficult chance as Gillespie found Lara's edge.
He's dropped it into his left hand and out. Lara tried to glide it past first slip.
Just 7 runs needed, but immediately Ambrose fenced at Gillespie, and Courtney Walsh walked to the wicket amidst huge tension. A no ball and a wide brought the target closer, and with Walsh surviving 5 testing deliveries, the scores were level. Lara faced up to Gillespie with the crowd hushed, but moments later they'd found their voices again. Lara smashed a boundary to reach his personal 150 and complete a truly sensational victory for the West Indies. He had gone from being the scourge of West Indies cricket to the saviour.
So Brian Lara finished with 153, not out.
But this certainly has been a great test match, a great innings by Brian Lara, and a great victory by the West Indies.